everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is my YouTube channel Sherelle Thinks, where I talk about all things health anxiety related. And I firstly want to say that I was thinking earlier that like my New Year's resolution was to upload more frequently. My kind of goal was to put out like 2 or 3 videos a week, and I just can't manage it. I am a mother to 2 toddlers who I'm with all day, every day. And then when they go to bed in the evening, I then have my coaching clients. So I will work them from like 7 till 11 and then I go to bed. So I just thought, you know what, I need to be more realistic. And what I'm going to do is I've just decided to just put out videos regardless. So I'm going to film videos and it's probably going to be chaotic. You're going to hear toddlers running around in the background. You're going to see me being, disrupted and whatever. But I either kind of do it this way and just kind of put out this raw footage, or not do any videos at all, because at this point, like with the coaching and the kids, I just literally don't have any free time at all. And I don't say that like, I mean that in all seriousness, like I'm literally with the kids all day and then I'm working in the evening. So I just thought I need to just start filming and just not even really overthink it, So that's what I'm going to do. So like I said, apologies if these videos are super disruptive. But I do have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old who require my attention a lot. They're currently playing, so they may give me 5 or 10 minutes. But what I basically wanted to talk about in this video is sort of like the worry of MS and how the symptoms of MS are so very similar to anxiety. And I say that because I went through this very worry myself. I was absolutely 1,000,000,000,000% convinced that I had MS. I was absolutely gobsmacked when my MRI came back fine. And I find it astounding how the symptoms of anxiety and MS are so very similar. And then that's really difficult to deal with because, as an anxiety sufferer, when you sort of like read the symptoms of MS and it's like fatigue and tingling and all of this stuff, all of these anxiety symptoms as well, it's really hard for, as the sort of like catastrophic thinkers that we are, to rationalize it. And I remember the way my journey started with it was that I woke up one day and I had like a little bit of tingling by here, just like in a small pea-sized patch. And then within I think about 24 hours, the whole left side of my face was numb. And I'd never had that before. And then I was getting numbness in my legs and I was waking up with all sorts of weird symptoms. And I was under a lot of stress during this time. But I Googled it and saw like facial tingling, one of the symptoms of MS. And of course, then when I looked at the other symptoms, like, bowel changes and like fatigue, I was like, well, I literally looked down the list. I was like, I've got that, and that. I literally ticked them all off. So at that point in my life, being completely clouded by the health anxiety, my rationale and my logical, side was completely gone. I just thought, well, this makes sense. I have MS. I've got all of the symptoms. This is why I've been feeling this way. I completely discounted the fact that I was very anxious at this point, but that's what health anxiety does, doesn't it? Is it just like, your rationality goes out the window and like whatever it is that you're worried about in that moment makes total sense to you. And so, yeah, I went through like 2-3 months of being utterly convinced I had MS, and like the symptoms got worse and I felt like things were progressing, but what it was really was I was just reading into it. I was Googling it. I was checking myself and doing all of, you okay, darling? Doing all of these like sort of like safety behaviors that I wish I hadn't have done. But this is the problem, is that the symptoms are so very similar. Yes, sweetie. You want milk, do you? Okay, darling, we'll do that now, I promise. Where did you put your milk? You give it to Roro? Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys, bear with me. This is what I mean. This is what the videos are going to be like. But it's either this or do none at all. I'm just trying to find his bottle. I don't know where your bottle's gone, sweetheart. Let's have a look if it's out here. Not out here. Oh, no. There it is. Yeah, that one's not the right one, though. So yeah, as I was saying, like it just, the symptoms were so eerily similar. Do you want a yogurt?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. They were so similar that it was just really hard for my brain to kind of, I guess. Oh, there's none left, guys. There's these ones though. Do you want these ones? Okay. With a straw?
Yeah.
Okay. That it was just really hard for my brain to just think, do you know what, Sherelle? You've been very, very anxious. It's probably anxiety, you know? My brain just wasn't doing that. I was utterly convinced, and, you know, all I wanted was an MRI. And I remember going to see my doctor and saying to him, like, I have to have an MRI at this point. There's nothing else that's going to calm me down. It's the only thing that's going to reassure me. Like, I have to have this done. And my doctor was like, Sherelle, like, I know you don't have it. I'm, you know, sure that it's anxiety. But I, back then, was just, my health anxiety was so bad that no amount of reassurance was enough. Like, I would always have to get, like, the MRI, the CT scan, the blood test. Like, I was never reassured, even by the specialists themselves. Like, I remember them paying privately to go and see a neurologist, and the neurologist was like, I really don't think you need this MRI. Like, the way that you're explaining your symptoms doesn't sound like MS. And he had a really sort of like great way of explaining it to me and sort of like reassuring me. But I still knew in my heart of hearts that I had to, you can just sort of like pull that back and then you do it then. Okay. I knew in my heart of hearts that I had to have the MRI, and I did. I had it done then. I think it was maybe like 2 weeks later, and obviously it was totally fine. And I think that was like a really big turning point for me, because the symptoms were so intense that it was then when everything kind of like clicked, and I was like, oh my goodness, like health anxiety is really bad, you know, like it literally gave me all of these symptoms. It kind of, in a way, like it made me distrust my body. All right, sweetie?
Mum, I need a tissue, please.
You don't want the straw? Oh gosh, you'll get everywhere. You want the straw or you don't want the straw? But it's going to be hard to drink without the straw.
No.
There we are. Do you want a wet wipe?
No, a tissue.
There we go, sweetheart. Here we go. Mum life.
Mama.
Yeah, you. Oh dear. Can you clean it up for me?
Yeah.
Like a big boy?
Mum.
Yeah. All right, sweetie.
Mum.
Here you are, babes. Oh, let's get you some more. Sorry, guys. Hang on a minute. Here you go, darling. All right. Gosh, I've completely lost my train of thought now. But yeah, I mean, it. Like I was saying, it just got me to a point where I sort of realised that I can actually manifest my symptoms. You know, the fact that I had read. I mean, it started off with the tingling, but when I read the other symptoms like bladder changes, bowel changes, fatigue, then all of a sudden I started to get those things. And not only did I start to get those things, but I think that I just became hyper aware. So I remember just thinking like, am I weeing too much? Am I going to the toilet more? And then then I wasn't sleeping because I was worried. But then I was like, oh my gosh, you know, there must be something wrong with me. Then I was fatigued. And because of the fatigue, I was then freaking out. But I wasn't sleeping because I was stressed. And I was spending all of my time Googling MS. So of course, I wasn't sleeping because my body was highly stressed out. I was in like, my nervous system was a complete wreck, like a complete train wreck. So yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, doesn't it, how intense health anxiety is. And it's just really difficult when you have anxiety and you're trying to be rational, you're trying to think clearly, but you're reading the symptoms of a disease and you're thinking, I've got every single one. So in that moment then, of course, your brain is going to think, well, this is it, this is what I have. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was like, I truly must have it. There's no other reason for all of this. And it was anxiety, you know, it was the big kind of like elephant in the room that I just wasn't seeing. But it was a really scary time for me and something that I definitely like won't forget. And so I think that just if you're suffering with this now and you're thinking that, you know, you have MS or you're worried about it, just ponder the fact and just take into consideration the fact that you're also very anxious, and anxiety can cause all of these symptoms, all of them. There's not one symptom of MS apart from like paralysis that I don't think anxiety can't cause, you know. So if you're getting tingling or fatigue or bowel changes, all of this can also be caused by anxiety. And I don't say that to be like completely dismissive. Obviously, some people really do have MS, so I don't want to say that that's the case for everybody. But But I do think that for like most of us, you know, especially us with anxiety, health anxiety, it's just completely normal. We're just very, very anxious. And the more we read about MS and the more that we kind of check our bodies and have all of these like negative safety behaviors, it only kind of then intensifies in a sense. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that that's my thoughts on that, because I have done a video on MS before, but I don't think I kind of concluded the fact that anxiety is so similar to it in a way. And yeah, apologies that this video is so disruptive, but like I said, this is probably the way it's going to be now until they're both in school. Okay, they want to do a puzzle, so thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on my next video. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Just say bye to everyone. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.